Welcome to Dami Loves Travel podcast. I am your host. Oh my God, it's Dami. On this podcast, we'll be talking about everything travel, from flight experiences, amazing views, beautiful destination, my personal travel experiences, as well as guest experiences, tips and tricks for easy travel. Name it, we'll be discussing everything about travel. This is going to be fun and also educative. So stay tuned, like, share, comment, and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on forthcoming amazing episodes. I'm not doing this alone. I'm with a very dear friend. She's a business executive strategist. She's also a barrister, so she knows a lot about, some immigration laws. She'll be helping us shed light on some of that. I'm here with Remi.
Hey, Dami.
Hi.
You're beautiful.
I love
Thank
your
you for
outfit
having
as
me
well.
here. I'm super thrilled to be here.
I'm thrilled
Honestly,
too.
I feel like I'm boarding a flight right now.
Oh, good, nice. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. Thank you very much for joining me on this
Thank
episode.
you.
This is our maiden episode. So, have you ever been in a situation where, you are at the airport? You already have your flight booked, you're planning an amazing vacation, and then you get to the airport, and for some reason, they're like, you don't have a flight. Or they're saying you can't board this flight because we're overbooked, or in short, you're not going anywhere. How do you feel in that kind of situation?
First of
Has it
all,
ever happened to you first of all?
of course, it
Really?
happens.
Like,
So
okay, yeah.
I think there are several factors that one has to consider when it has to do with compensation for cancellation of flights, delays, or maybe they degrade your flight, because most
That's a
times,
big one.
yeah, so most times you have situations where you booked a business class, for example, and then when you get to the airport, they'll tell you, oh, business class is fully booked.
She's very
And then-
wary. I don't understand.
I'm serious.
How am I going
they
to
take
book
you
and
to
business class and
economy.
then? I know.
Yeah, so instances like that, you have your rights. So, and these rights generally are not given to you automatically. You have to apply in forms of claims to those airlines. For example, EPIs. I know of EPIs. So EPIs, usually when you have issues like this, EPIs will tell you to write a formal claim. So it's not even an email. There are some airlines that will take emails, right? But for EPIs, you have to send an email to them. And usually it has to be done within 7 days, right? So yeah. And as regards your rights for any delays, first of all, for domestic flights, so you have the right to be informed of that delay 30 minutes after the scheduled flight has taken off, right? So maybe, for example, your flight was supposed to be around 10 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
And then you got to the airport, remember, Lagos traffic and all this wahala with Lagos traffic. And then you had to leave your house because your flight is for 10. Then you have to leave your house maybe 5. And then you spent like 2 hours on the road. And then you get to the airport. You get to the airport around 7 thereabout. And then
because
you're at the airport.
sorry, because also, as a travel person, I know that they would say be at the airport 2
3
hours.
hours.
Or
Some
3
airlines will
hours
tell you 3
before
hours.
the flight time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
so
then you get to the
have be there.
airport, and then you're in the airport from that 7 to, let me say,
10.
9:30, 10. Your flight is not boarding. What's going on? Do you understand? At that point, the airline is obliged to tell you that they have so and so challenges, and mostly the excuses they give is weather condition. Maybe the weather is not so great or something like that, and then they tell you cannot board, and then you have to hold on for the next 30 minutes. So within that time, you are within your right to get that particular information. But after 30 minutes, and then you didn't get that particular information, you have the right to file for your claims. Do you understand?
There
And
at
then,
at the airport or later.
no, you can do it right there at the airport. You can reach out to the customer care representatives of the respective airline. You reach out to them, you tell them that, look, you're supposed to board this flight at such time. You didn't get any notice. You've been at the airport. Do you understand? And then whatever they say is that would determine
What to do?
what to do. Do you understand? And then for international flight, usually your notice for delay, you should have gotten it 24 hours before the
Before.
departure time, right?
Yeah.
And then for cancellation for international flights, it's about 7 days notice. Yes. So 7 days prior to your flight for international flight, if they cancel it, do you understand? Then you have to, if you don't get the notice, sorry, you have to file for claims. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And usually I think you are entitled to about 30%. If you're fighting for a claim, you're entitled to 30% for international flight. And then for domestic flights, you're entitled to 25%. That's for cancellation.
So this 25%, is it the whole fare? Because
Yes,
for airlines,
25% of
they
your
always say, there is the fare base and then there's the taxes.
ticket fare.
So ticket fare inclusive of
Ticket
taxes? Because they always say taxes is not
No,
refundable.
it's inclusive. So
Okay,
you're
so
getting
the
the
total
total
fare.
fare. Yeah,
Oh,
so you're
I
getting
get.
25% of the total fare. Exactly. Then for delays at domestic flight, I know a lot of Nigerians these days are experiencing delays, especially let me not call it any airline in particular, but I use Airpeace often, right?
Yeah.
So and
Airpeace is
based
really
on
in
my own
trouble.
personal so based on my own personal experience, I know Airpeace delays a lot, right? And then if they delay my flight for about, let me say, 2 hours, yes, for 2 hours, I'm entitled to refreshment at the airport. But hello, will
Does
they
it
give you the
happen?
refreshment? I think in this instance, it's best to know your right so you can be in a better position to
Demand
demand
for it.
for it when you find yourself in instances like this. And then when the delay is above 3 hours, you're entitled to a refund of your flight. And then if the delay falls between 10 p.m. in the night and 4 a.m. in the morning, you're entitled to accommodation and transportation.
I even
Thank
know
you.
that outside the country, because the first time it ever happened to me, I was coming from Istanbul. I was coming home, and I got to the airport, and I have a friend's wedding the next day. I got to the airport, and then they said, "Oh, sorry, your name is not on the manifest." So first thing first, I'm like, "Oh, my agent has scammed me. They gave me
I
fake
can imagine. I know
tickets."
that feeling, right?
And you just want to attack the next person that you can
Yeah.
talk to. So I'm like, oh, hey, God, let list. I'm calling this agent. The number is not going through. I'm panicking at the airport. I'm like, oh my God. And I was so embarrassed because I'm like, oh, really? I don't have a ticket. But again, I'm like, I'm already, some minutes later, I'm thinking, I'm almost at the boarding gate, which means I've been checked
You've
in.
been checked in.
I don't even have my luggage with me, so I'm like, no,
Instances like
it's
that,
not.
the airline was filled.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
not. Like I don't have a valid ticket.
Hope they gave you accommodation.
So I went. I said no, but I had check in. Like the first thing threw me off, and I totally forgot all my rights or whatever. Like everything
I
went out of the window,
understand.
and then I went back. I went back to this person that is trying to behave as if they can't understand my English. Of course, I don't understand. And the person is saying, oh, no, we're just overbooked. I'm like, that's not what you said. But you're overbooked. So what's going to happen? It's like, oh, but we can reschedule you for the next day. And I'm like, no, but my flight is today. But there's no other seat anymore. And, my gullible self, I just went
left the
back.
airport. Oh my God.
I went back to where they will reschedule the flight. They rescheduled the flight, and they gave me a voucher and then a hotel voucher. They gave me a voucher for food and then an hotel voucher.
No
Now,
monetary compensation.
no monetary compensation. So done. So now I walk down to where the food court is, and then I saw another person that checked in when I was checking in, which was another girl, traveling. The annoying part is I'm seeing her counting dollars, but I thought it was her money. So I'm like, oh, she was like, oh. So she asked the question, how much did they pay you? I said, for what? And then she's like, oh, they asked me to get off the plane and they gave me $1,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me. I'll be right back. I ran back to the boarding gate. I'm like, okay, you know what? My grandmother is sick. I need to be on that plane and it needs to take me. I need to get to Nigeria like
You see,
today.
they will act fast.
And then they're like, oh, okay. Are you sure? We're gonna see if someone else would leave the plane. And then they went inside the plane and then they came back and then they said, oh, nobody is willing to get off the plane. And I'm like, no, I need to get on this plane. There is no reason I must get to Nigeria today. They're like, okay, let them go back and offer $1,500 if someone would come. I'm like, please, why you not offering me? But I'm already playing a script, so I do not want to look desperate. I'm like, I don't care. I just want to go home. I have to go home, please. And I was really homesick because, I've been traveling and I've not eaten Nigerian food for a long time. So
I get that
it was a
feeling.
problem. Anyways, but it was a lot of money. This was like 4 years ago. It was a lot of money. I said, okay, I just need to go. So they went back again and said, oh, the only person willing to not travel is on business class. Will I like to upgrade my flight? I'm like, why? I'm not interested. I just want to go home. So I didn't get the money, but I flew on business class.
Yeah, that's
Sweet.
beautiful.
I flew on
That's
business class.
beautiful.
I flew on business class back
No,
home. And
instances
it
like
was
that,
so-
you're not entitled to any compensation.
I know, right? Because that was business class was the compensation. So
That's
it was
beautiful.
nice, but I know that the airline will try and bounce you off if
Yeah.
you don't know how to talk to them in such a way that they know you're right. They will try to make it look like is something you don't have to collect. Is there any instances that can happen that you will not make your flight and you're not entitled to any compensation?
Yes, we have instances where the airline can claim that the situation that occurred was completely beyond their control.
Like
Do you
what?
understand? Like weather. Let me say the weather is not favorable.
But that would be
you can't
affecting
fly,
everybody,
do you
right?
understand? That would be exactly. So instances like that, they're not going to give you anything. And
Yeah.
I think most airlines in Nigeria, they use that a lot.
So the weather is bad all the
exactly.
time.
So when a particular flight is not flight, next thing you hear that, oh, sorry, the weather is not, blah, blah, blah. You know how they see sometimes when they are speaking, you can't really hear what they are saying.
know.
You understand at the
Yeah.
airport. So yeah, basically that's it.
That's what it is. Okay.
But
So-
it's beautiful anyway if you find yourself in situations like that and you know you're right. You
Yeah.
approach them calmly. Do you understand? You don't cause you anything. Just go and walk up to them. Hello, hi, introduce yourself. I'm a passenger on this flight and I'm supposed to be on the next boarding flight, but then I'm just getting the notification. You understand? I think I'm entitled to some claims. Usually they will give you a form to fill at the
Really?
airport. Yes, you fill the form, you send it, but that has to be done immediately. Nigeria.
Yeah. I also knew like sometimes maybe you find somebody that is not receptive at the decks. A lot of people just give up after some time, like, you know what, this is not
there are some
even-
people like
this is
that. There are some
annoying.
people that don't actually like that stress.
I
So when
know.
you delay their flights, they can just sit back at the airport and be shouting. But then there are some people that know they are right and will fight for it. I am one of them. Trust me. I will not take
In
that.
fact, there's
I've
no
been at the
time
airport.
now.
Yes, I've been at the airport before. My flight was scheduled for 7 p.m. And then we didn't depart till 11.
Wow.
Dami, I requested for refreshment. I did because yes, 7 to 11 p.m.
That's a lot. That's a lot of time.
I requested for refreshment, although I didn't ask them for any transportation or anything, but I asked them.
Okay,
It
but
was
a lot
water, but at least I knew I requested for something and I got something.
So maybe,
in return.
I don't know if you really travel for layer of a business, but the majority of people that travel in Nigeria, domestic travel, are mostly for business. And
Yeah.
when it's happening that the flight is not boarding or it's not going to operate, they just look for an alternative and then they move on. I think this is a call to, just know that you can always, write the letter to the airline or ask your agent to claim for you.
Another alternatives or options that people go for is, for example, if you're scheduled for a business class flight and then your flight is being delayed and then you realize that, oh, okay, there's an economy flight that's about to depart. So you can just decide to opt in to the economy flight, right? But instances like that, the airline is obliged to either give you a voucher. Most times that's what they do, they give you a voucher, or they pay you the difference, the flight's difference, right?
Would that
So
not be
you're
considered
taking
a voluntary downgrade? Because
that's the voluntary that people, you have a business
See.
meeting. Do you understand? You
Yeah.
have no choice. You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
take that.
yeah, yeah.
And then most times I usually allow them to bring that options for me. It is when they don't give me that option. Do you understand? That's when. But when they are the one giving you the option that, oh, sorry, but there's another flight. There's an economy. You say, oh, okay, you want that. And then they just pay you the flight difference. And
Oh,
that's it.
nice.
Yeah.
Good to know. Good to know that. Again, I've always wondered, like, travel can be cumbersome. Yeah. Because it involves like a lot of planning. You have to plan for
Yeah.
transport, airport transport, hotel, and even the flight itself is not easy. You have to check in, check out, make sure your passport is not
Yeah.
outdated, your visa is starting on the right date. There's so many things that can go wrong when you're planning a vacation. What is your craziest travel experience?
Dami, you know my craziest transplant.
Actually, I do. She was the one having the crazy experience, but I was in
You're
it
feeling
from my
it.
house. Like,
First of all, it started from the airport. Dami.
oh, yeah.
Imagine them telling me, oh, you can't fly directly to Germany. You have to go to Spain first. I'm like, you forgot that.
Yeah, I remember.
I was like,
Yeah.
what are people saying?
Okay, so
My-
with the
my- my- my-
with the Schengen visa,
Yeah.
you have to go to the state that issued the visa
It's
first.
not always like that. Dami. It's not always like that.
Was it
I've
the
had
first
that
time
was
going
first-
to the Schengen state?
I think maybe because that was the first time. Do you
Yeah,
understand? I think that was. I want to believe that's the reason. But we've done Schengen visa for people, and they just go directly. Remember, there was one we did. It was a Spain visa, but then the guy traveled to France.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And
Okay,
he
but
didn't have
that
any
but that's
problem with that.
easier. That's easier because there's no direct flight to Spain.
To
So if you're
Spain.
going to Spain, you still have to pass through Paris. Now, in Spain case, if you're going to Spain but you want to go to Germany,
You know, in this one, I wasn't going to Spain.
It's
I was-
true. You were
my
going to
flight,
Germany?
Yes, my flight was directly. It was Turkish airline, right?
Oh,
To
yeah.
Germany, and then when I got there, do you understand? They said, "Look, you have to go to Spain first." And blah, blah,
Okay, so if you are using so honestly, travel is so complicated.
It
If you're
is.
using a Lufthansa airline, that the first stop is gonna be Germany, you will not have any issues. They will let you fly. Now, because you're using Turkish, and wherever state of Schengen you're going to is gonna be your first stop. Because the stop before Spain is not a Schengen, it's gonna be Istanbul, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they're gonna have issues
That
with
issue,
it.
yeah.
So
So I
if you're
think they
going
had
with
to
if you're
call-
going with an European airline, if you're going with Air France, KLM, and you're going to maybe Amsterdam,
Amsterdam.
or you're going to Germany, it won't be a problem
No.
because they recognize it as the same.
Yeah. So,
I think that was the issue.
Yeah,
But that
so
was a
and
crazy
then-
one. If you knew
well,
that, you wouldn't have booked Turkish airline.
yeah. So then I had to book another flight to Madrid. Do you remember? I booked a flight to Madrid, and then from Madrid, I took another flight down to Germany, right? Yeah.
And this was
That
all
was-
while you were pregnant,
Yes,
yeah?
I was pregnant. That means. But then there
Yeah.
were some things I had prior knowledge of. So those things didn't actually take me on surprise. So first of all, I had a lot of cash with me. I made sure I had cash. So rather than doing card trips, I knew it is very, very important if you're traveling, especially if you're traveling solo alone. It's very important you have your cash, right? So I had enough cash with me. And then another problem I had was I was not having a universal adapter.
Oh, that's a big one. I have
Damn.
so much adapter.
Damn. I don't
Now,
know how
there's
I
one
skipped
adapter
that.
in every traveling bag. When I pick a bag, there's an adapter there.
So
Because
I
that's
was-
major. That's
Oh,
major.
goodness.
Every country has different.
Yes. So when I got to the hotel, I wanted to charge my devices. And then I was like, what's
my
this?
God.
What's going on here? And the language was the barrier, right? But thank God for Google Translate. Come on. It helped a lot. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
helped ease in the communication between us.
But it's
And
Europe.
then
They speak English.
now for Germany, they actually don't. Germany, they have a lot of indigents in Germany and that they don't actually understand English.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was one of the challenges I actually
God.
faced. And then another challenge was quite funny though, was the fact that I didn't even do my research, basic research before traveling. And like
You
it
thought it
won't
was
cost
Kano
me
that you were
anything.
going to.
It won't cost me anything to just put Germany on YouTube, right? I
Yeah.
will have learned some few tips
Things
and
about,
tricks.
yeah.
But
So
then
that's another thing. You should
I
always
was I was
Google where
focusing
you're
on the
going to.
flight, the hotel, and the food, and the tourist areas I was going to
Yeah.
visit, pictures and all that, and I completely forgot to even learn one or two things about the country I was visiting, which is very important.
Do you remember what Elo is in Germany? What language does Germany speak? Dutch?
Yeah, I think it's Dutch. Yes, it's Dutch. But then most of them don't speak English. Trust me,
I
they have a lot of indigents,
I
and
have
communication
been
was
I
a
have
barrier.
been to Frankfurt, which is like the city center,
Yeah,
and
city
I have
center.
been to Munich, which is like the countryside. Opposite contrast.
Wow.
Opposite contrast, because when I was in Frankfurt, it was just night parties. I had a friend. I
Yeah.
had a friend there, so it was just night parties, shopping, and that was it. It's more organic in Munich and they're more friendly because you get to visit the farmhouse, the castles, and they did speak English. Maybe because it was
No, it's
more
maybe because I was
touristic,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But I got to ride the horse. I got to see like grand palaces on acres of land
Wow.
with so much greenery transformed like right now. And again, the thing about travel is that whatever you've experienced, you
Yeah.
really cannot explain it.
Exactly.
Someone has to
But in my
experience it
condition,
too
for
in
it to
another,
be,
yeah. Again, I feel like travel is like reading the Bible. So if I read a particular passage in the Bible, I feel like it has a different meaning to
to
me.
you.
And if you read the same passage, you will have a very different understanding, maybe because of our experiences, exposure, or situation in life.
Yeah.
The same thing with travel. I can go
And
to
you
a
know, I
place.
know there's something about Bible too I love, right?
Yeah,
Dami? You
what's
can
that?
be reading something, the same scripture. You'll be reading it over and over and over and over again, and you keep getting different
Different every time.
interpretation based on the circumstances surrounding you.
Absolutely,
Like, I
absolutely. I think it's the
understand.
same for travel because I would maybe I'll go to a place and say, "Oh my God, it was so nice." Like my experience in Russia is not the same as my friend experience in Russia, because my major experience in Russia is it was during the summer, so they have like this 7 days white night. The sun does not set. 1 a.m., the sun is shining. 5 a.m., it goes down and come up. So there's no darkness. There's no darkness. That was my major experience because I'm like, 1 o'clock, I can see you. As in, there's no
Yeah,
ghost.
there's
Really, there's no darkness. Like, it was so amazing to me.
yeah.
It was a natural. My friend that we went the same time, her experience was like,
Completely
oh,
different.
I did not
Interesting.
even come out at all. Oh, the bars in Russia were mad. It was nice. I was like, what? Bars? I didn't even go to any bar. Like, you understand what I'm saying? So I think different people with different
One
experiences.
of the experience I loved when I got to Germany was okay. So for Spain, when I got to the airport in Spain, they did a lot of check-in. You understand? They did some checking in and caused a whole lot of delays, and had a lot of people on the queue, right?
Okay.
But when I got to Germany, Dami, I got to Germany in the middle of the night, around 10 p.m. thereabout, and nobody said anything to me. And I was shocked. It's not possible in the country where I'm coming from that you enter an airport and nobody will check you. Like, immediately we came down. I was just going straight in my head. Like, can somebody stop me? Okay, what if I'm carrying something
Okay,
later?
but that's because
Nothing.
you've already gone to Spain.
I want to believe maybe that's why. But
Okay,
then
but
I
because
wasn't expecting that experience. So I
oh,
just came, I landed, and went straight.
okay, so I know that if you go to the Schengen states, when you get stamped in the first entrance of the Schengen states,
Yeah.
every other Schengen state is considered a local flight.
Oh, well, now I see.
You do not
You don't
have to
need
go
to go.
through immigration or whatever. You come out, you take your bag, and then
Unlike
you go
Nigeria.
out. No, because no, but it is like that. Because in Nigeria, if you're going from Lagos to Abuja,
Yeah.
you will go through immigration,
Yeah.
and if you
They
have
will
to go
still
to
check it. They
another
will
one,
check your luggage.
okay, but
They will check your luggage just to make sure your ticket tallies with your bag.
internationally, all the European states, they have like an agreement.
An
So
agreement. Yes,
once
I
you're
want to
stamped in
believe
from one
that.
place, unless you're exiting the European states
States.
to another country that is not in the European states, then you would get treated like you're exiting, and then they will stamp you out again. But otherwise, you won't get stamped in any other country again. It was a culture shock for me too as well, because I'm like, so I come out of the airport, then I'm seeing baggage claim. So I'm like, as in, it's okay to take my bag and go. So is it okay to take my bag and go? But once I realized that, I think, and that's why the Schengen visa is so valuable, because I feel like if once you have the
But
Schengen, you
now
can
it's
go to like
becoming
40
difficult
states.
to get. I don't know why.
Is there
but
any
getting
visa that
difficult.
is not difficult to get?
True, sha.
And if you've ever been denied visa, how do you feel when you were denied a visa?
I won't say I felt rejected anyway. I just felt, okay, maybe I didn't do something right. Maybe I should have done something better. Maybe I should have applied earlier.
Should I tell you how I felt? Should I tell you? I felt
feel?
like they gave me a dirty slap in my face. No, I'm serious.
Oh, so you've been denied visa before?
What do you mean? A lot of times. A lot of times. A lot of times. A lot of times. And let me
Okay.
tell you, my first rejection was actually Schengen. Now, let me tell you why it even felt like a slap.
Not
Because
even UK
all
or
my
US.
friends
They got
had done the
it.
same application. My colleagues at work, they've done the same application. In fact, that was the reason why I'm like, oh, they gave you, oh, wow. We're like on the same level, so I'll
You
get this,
with
right?
her.
So, and then I submitted, filling off flight or whatever. It was time to pick up my passport. I bounced to the airport. I bounced. Even
To
I
the
feeling
embassy.
friend. And you know when you go to the embassy, you have like some guys outside. I'm like, please, listen, no, I had to, please. I came out with a long face. Because they're inside.
Yeah.
Tear the
I
this
think I also
thing, like,
mine too the same thing. I think
I
I got
tear
an
the stuff.
acceptance letter, an email.
Yeah.
You understand? My UK, the first UK I applied for,
Yeah.
I was rejected, but I didn't get any rejection email. Usually you get
that
an
was
email,
a very
right?
Remi, I'm involved in that application, so I know that was a very special. In fact, what I think happened.
And then I went there with confidence. I want to pick up my
Because
passport.
if they didn't
I didn't
send
see
you
anything.
if they didn't send you a rejection letter, you were not rejected. What happened in your case was that I think the visa was approved, but it was never pasted.
Yeah, I believe that was what happened.
When you point out this mistake to the embassy, you're telling them that you know that your head, you people don't know what you're doing. Like, see, you're making mistakes, right? They will now look for reasons why you should be rejected. That rejection letter that you did not have, they will give it to you. You shall get it by
But
applying
I'm
another
glad
time.
I decided to opt for the Schengen, and
Yeah.
I wasn't rejected. Thank God.
It's such a crazy thing, especially in this part of the
Yeah.
world, because I think Nigerians just love to travel and explore other cultures.
Yes, I
genuinely.
think so.
Of course, some
But
people
in
want
doing
to.
that, I think it's better we also explore other African countries first, because a lot of people just want to travel to the US, travel to the UK. Do you understand? But then you have South Africa, you have other countries that you can easily apply for their visas and also get it.
Okay.
So that will build
Okay,
your
I was not
passport.
done with my story because I had skipped African countries, and I had gone to
How
Shanghai.
many
I
African
bounced.
countries have you got
No, I
to?
had not gone to anyone at this point in time. But my friend, I became a pro at African destinations, and it's not
Yes,
so
that's how
bad.
to go.
It's not
Exactly.
so bad.
That's how to
In
go
fact,
about
right
it.
now, I'll tell you, the countries topping my list right now is South Africa. I know there's a lot about the xenophobic thing and all of that, but
Yeah.
have you been to Cape Town? That is
I think
heaven.
the buzz city now.
Apart from that, there's so many things to explore.
Yeah. Cape
There's it.
Town, Johannesburg.
Yeah, there's the Johannesburg. I didn't so much enjoy it because the taxi person that took me kept saying they're gonna steal your bag, they're gonna steal your phone, they're gonna. So I was too. And then the next day, I just found my way to Cape Town. But Cape Town was so relaxing because there's so many things. And I love to explore nature, anyways.
Yeah.
And I was able to get to this Cape Point where the Atlantic and the Red Sea meets. Right? Is it the Atlantic and Red meets? So immediately you see a calm, then you see the one that is,
Nice.
rumbling, and it's amazing. And it's just
How is your
beautiful.
food there? How is your food in South
It
Africa?
is South Africa. It is African food. Okay, so let me tell you, no, it's not. Actually, it's not. Because I remember when I was at the hotel, they gave me food as if I was in the European country. There wasn't pepper, it was continental. But
You
this
didn't
is
go
the
to the street.
this is the
You
trick.
didn't go to the street.
I found the trick recently. Any country you go to as an African and you want African food, just look for a Chinese restaurant. It's like you'll find
Yeah,
pepper.
I did that too.
Or maybe Thai.
I
Yeah,
did
Thai
that
is very
too.
close too.
did that
Just look for
too.
Chinese and just get the rice and the.
Rice and
Trust me, you feel like it's Nigerian food. That's the trick that I use now. So if I feel like I don't want so much of continental or whatever, I just look for, and there's always a Chinese restaurant around, anyways.
That's beautiful. So I also think when applying for visas, it's good to also explore joint group travels.
Okay,
For
so why
example,
is it that we never travel as a group in Nigeria? Why can't we not agree on a
village
date
people
on
is
a time?
definitely part of it.
Oh my god.
Village people is part of it because there's no reason. Like you and your friends can come together and decide and
I've
plan
been
the
in
trip.
more than 10 WhatsApp group, and the only time
The people successfully traveled,
is
left
one
the WhatsApp.
time. And do you know why it happened? All the friends in that WhatsApp group were not living in Nigeria. So I think maybe is it that we don't really explore friendship in Nigeria, or why? Because I don't see I love to travel with friends, especially maybe cruises. You understand what I'm saying? But it just doesn't happen. A week to the day, somebody's gonna say, "Oh, I can't do this one. Oh, I have a meeting. Oh, I have this one."
Let me put myself
yeah.
in that situation, right?
Good.
So,
Because
see,
why
in my
have we
head-
not gone on a trip
in my
together?
head-
Even
Exactly
you,
what I'm saying.
as my friend.
Because
Why?
you're always busy. You have to plan, you have to apply for leave in advance and
Yeah.
all those stuff. So trust me, it's very stressful. But at the same time, I think it's good. Even once in a year, you can travel. You and your friends can come together. And honestly, it saves time, saves you all those informations.
And it's more
And
interesting.
exactly. And then
It's
you
more
have
interesting.
somebody to pair with to take nice pictures of you. Not like me when I traveled my first solo trip. I had to pay somebody to take me pictures. And then after paying the guy, when I saw the pictures that came out of you, I was
Oh my
like,
God.
guy.
I know.
It's like,
right?
guy, why?
Okay, now I'm even thinking of
So-
it because I am more of I love traveling. Yeah. I am more of a solo traveler, but
But
and
you do
that's
your research
and
before you
that's
go.
and that's because I've learned over time. So before I would not, but now I'll check the weather to know what to park.
Exactly.
I'll check the language. I'll check the best area to stays, access to
Transportation too
transportations
within
and
the,
all of that.
because I remember the first time I traveled, Dami, I was spending so much paying for Uber, and I didn't really
that's a lot of
explore other
Local
transport
transportation.
exactly. So after I paid about I think 35 euro thereabout for the first trip, and then I was going to the city central, I paid about 40 something. I just carried my phone, search go YouTube, You understand? I did my research and then I discovered that there's actually a train, there's a ticket, a €9 ticket that I can take that would actually last for the whole period of my trip.
Just nine
€9.
euro. Do you know if
Just
you go
because
to
I didn't do
my
my
research?
research before traveling.
So, the there was a time we went to Switzerland. Do you know in Switzerland, local transportation is free? Like you don't have to pay anything. And you know, when we checked into the hotel, the concierge said it. And I'm like, I don't understand. What do you mean? He said, you just have to walk to the train station
Wow.
and you get a card. And for the duration of that time, it's going to be free till you leave. I said, I don't understand. But me with my coconut head, instead of looking for where the train station is, and it's not really like very big. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, we're in Geneva. It's not really big. You could just tour the whole place in 2-3 days. The whole place, the whole city. I'm telling you.
2-3 days.
Yes. It's not that big. You understand what I'm saying? So, what happened was we took taxi. We came back. We spent like $100
For
transportation.
that was supposed to be free.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree that when you go, you can save cost on these things, and it's even fun if you're not alone. I knew where I took taxi because
it's always
I was by
fun when
myself,
you're
and I'm
not
like,
alone.
see, they don't know me here. How would they describe me if I get lost? I beg. Let me just enter this taxi. I beg.
You know, me when I traveled, I was in the hotel the first 2 days because I was feeling sick in my condition. So I wished I had somebody that would, ginger me up, hey Remi, stand up, hey.
Let's
No,
do
I
this.
was within my comfort zone. So I took my time. I took a lot of rest and then I started going out and exploring. And I don't know this particular image that's always on my head, like me walking on the streets of Germany and seeing cigarettes on the floor. I don't know. I've been trying. I see that often. Like it's like sand. And so I'm like, I don't understand. But I'm not seeing anybody smoking, right? But I'm seeing cigarettes on the floor. And I'm like,
Okay, so I
okay.
think
Okay, what's going
this.
on here? Like, because the country where I come from, you can't see things like that.
You
So
don't see cigarette on the floor.
on the floor, that quantity. I'm not like I'm talking about cigarette like sand. Like if you stay from a very far
you will
far view,
see.
you'll be thinking you're seeing sand. You won't know it's actually cigarette on
But
the
I think
floor.
in Germany, depending on when you went there, if it's not summer, it's usually
It's
very
usually
cold.
very cold. Yes,
And a
it
lot
was
of people
actually
smoke to
cold.
keep themselves warm.
So
So it's
it was
like,
actually
so
cold.
yeah.
But it was fun, honestly. Traveling
Traveling is always
is
fun.
it's a beautiful
I have a
experience.
goal to
Travel around the world. I know
not
you
not
know.
around the way, but like to have visited like a
How many
100
countries?
countries by the time I'm 40.
It's
I
possible.
can't remember how
It's
many I've
possible.
done right
Just
now, but I think it's about
should have gone like 50 now.
no, maybe 30 or 30 something.
Wow.
Yeah, but I did. If you want to achieve this, just go to Europe
Yeah.
because you can do
you
40. Oh, my own crazy experience was doing 5 countries in 10 days. I had airport trauma.
Definitely, you're going to have a portrait, but like 5 countries in 10 days.
Yeah, but Europe.
Okay, so you took train in between
No,
some
they
of
were
these
hot
countries. They're all
flights.
flights.
Yeah, but some of those flights are like
Maybe
1
1 hour, 2
hour. Yeah.
hours.
Well, you still have to check in, check out.
That reminds me, Dami, have you noticed that the airlines in other countries are relatively better than the ones they serve us in Nigeria? If you are leaving Nigeria on Turkish airline, check the flights. Now, when you're coming from Istanbul to Nigeria, check the flights. I don't know. I think
Okay, so if you say the airlines outside Nigeria, like if you have like a layover, let's say you're doing Lagos to London on Turkish. If you say the one from Lagos to Istanbul is not as good as the one from
it's
Istanbul
good,
to
but
Lagos.
it's not as good. Yes.
As Istanbul to Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, so this is not an excuse, but I think everybody has noticed this, and is
Oh,
like
thank God I'm
it's
not
like
the only one.
going on
I
conversation.
don't know why.
But In the defense of the airlines, they had come out. So there's even been like complaints about this. So they had come out to say Nigerians runway, the airport runway, is not big enough to take bigger planes.
Oh.
Emirates has a lot of fleets of bigger and better planes. They said they want to, I don't know whether that's true. They said they want to bring it to Nigeria, but the runway
We don't have
can
the
take it.
capacity.
Yes. So I think that has also prompted the renovations of the airport and all of that, whatever that's going on. So until we have a bigger runway, we really cannot complain. You understand what I'm saying? Do you know that concerning this Dubai visa, we were never banned? Nigerians was not banned.
Wow.
No,
Please, I'm interested.
No. Wait. Did you think Dubai banned us?
Yes, actually. Based on the information circulating the internet,
Okay.
Dubai banned like capital letter BAN.
First of all, there's so much fake news circulating around.
That's another.
They did not ban us.
Dami.
I did not know what our president went to do in Dubai. The man just went on a trip, in fact. he just went to enjoy himself, I bet. Because we were never banned. As I'm talking to you, Nigerians still go to Dubai. So what happened was that there's a lot of rejection because prior to this time, if you want to apply for Dubai visa, all you have to do is bring your passport data page
Just like
and
you're
passport
going to
photograph.
Doha. Just like you're going to
No. With Doha, it's very different because if you don't have a US visa or a UK visa or a Schengen visa, you can't get the Doha visa online.
No, I know someone that did that
It does-
recently.
it's-
Family visa.
Then
She
they-
doesn't have anyone.
No,
And she just
but
applied
it cannot
online.
be with just passport data page. You have to
Passport.
put bank statements. You have to put.
Yeah,
it comes with a lot of
definitely.
requirements. It's different.
Requirements.
That is not how Dubai visa was working before. Now, Dubai visa, all the requirements that you need is a data page.
Yeah.
In fact, not the
Forgotten
original.
that Dubai.
Not
Forgotten the last one we applied for.
Wait, not
I
the
think it was
original.
within 3 days.
Not the original data page. Not the physical one. Just scanned copy. That's all you need. So, and then the passport photograph. That's all you need before now. When this old issue of, Nigerians are fighting or whatever, the only thing Dubai did was
to make it
review
strict.
the documents you
documents.
need to submit to get your visa. So now, the same documents you need to provide when you're applying for a UK visa or a US visa
Like the
or a
bank
Canada
statement,
visa
letter of
is the same. You have
invitation,
to. That's
insurance.
all. That is all.
Wow.
And the same profiling that US would do or Canada would do, where they look at countries
your
you've been
countries
to,
you've been
do you
to.
have travel experience? It's the same criteria Dubai is using now. So, unlike before, someone that has never traveled before
Yeah.
would apply for a Dubai visa and get it. It won't work now. They would deny it. So there's been like mass denial.
But I also heard that if you had a Dubai visa prior to that proposed ban, right, and then you travel, you're going to be denied entry. Plus the fact that do we have any airline going to Dubai now?
No, that's not that. Yeah.
Really?
Qatar goes to Dubai. Ethiopia goes to Dubai. And if
Okay,
you're
so not
coming
just
from
Emirates.
London, you can use BA.
I'm going to
There's a way to
You
get
have
to
been
Dubai.
seeing some Nigerians in Dubai. So honestly,
There is a way-
I've been having that thought that what's this
Exactly.
person doing? I thought
Exactly.
Dubai is our power.
See, the thing
Really?
is, we were never banned, but because Nigeria always like the easy way out, they keep
Yeah.
reapplying for this visa
the
the
normal
same way
process
they were doing before. Now you need to prove that you do have, sustainability.
Yeah.
You need to prove that you have a place you're working and you can get letter of
letter of
introduction from your
introduction.
place of work, or you need to submit a CAC document to show that you have a business that you're running. It is thorough profiling. They don't just want anybody that don't have business in Dubai coming in. Like, what are you coming in to do? They've just reevaluated their priorities. They don't want anybody coming in anyhow. We were never, we're still not banned. So if you fall into the criteria where you don't have all these documents,
Yeah,
you
you're
cannot
not
go to
going.
Dubai.
Yeah, but if you have a business trip,
But
like you're going
yes,
for a
exactly.
business
Like if
trip,
you've been to other countries before, if you have like maybe a US visa, a Canada visa, you submit your bank statements, your introduction letter, you had your tax clearance, you know, all the necessary document that you should put in, insurance,
you're not going to
hotel
stop you.
reservation, ticket is
Ticket reservations, return ticket.
your visa. In fact, my dear, you'll be cruising in Dubai by next week. Trust me. So there was never a ban. And you see, no
And then the
matter the
application process has to be in
intervention,
Abuja, right?
and do you know this, yeah? In the whole world, one of the hardest visa to get is Nigerian visa. Do you know that? Do you
I don't
know?
know. I don't know because we have visa on arrival. So why
That's
would somebody stress
that
visa
is
herself
because you are a Nigerian. So I'm saying
if
now,
you are in
okay,
another
so now I
country?
am a Nigerian. In Nigeria, if you say what is the hardest visa to get to in Nigeria, I would say probably US or Canada, because they do a lot of profiling and they look at travel history and all of that. You have to get your documentation right and all of that. I said in the whole world, to Europeans, Americans, Canadians, the hardest visa to get is Nigerian visa. So these things are based on immigration laws, your reception to other countries, bilateral agreements and all of that. So now Dubai has decided to scrutinize how they issue out their visas. And this, no amount of intervention is going to change this. They just decided that it will be better. There was a time that if you want to apply for South African visa, it has to
Yeah,
be
it has to be
paper.
paper, but
You have
now it's
now you can do it online,
online.
and the same way you fill South African visa is so similar. If you're filling South African visa, it looks like you're feeling like Canadian visa. It's the same thing. I promise you, it looks like it's even the same coding and all of that. I'm telling you. So every time the country look at, the security, the kind of people coming in, and they want to upgrade this. And Nigeria is frontliner in all of this. And that's why I'm even telling you. Nigeria scrutinize past other people. So I don't know why everybody is complaining. Oh,
Because
Dubai.
they've not been in
I
that
don't,
shoes.
and I think because any response the United Arab Emirates gives can lead to maybe misinterpretation or whatever. So they decided to be quiet about it.
Yeah,
But they
because
did not,
honestly, I don't see
because
reason why a country will ban
yeah,
Nigeria
Nigerians are
completely,
still
like
traveling to
outrightly.
Dubai. Nigerians are still traveling to Dubai. I'm just saying, I love going to Dubai a lot. So initially, I also thought that there was a ban going on, right? And I told myself, so what? If I don't go to Dubai, will I die? So I just moved on with my life. You understand what I'm saying? And
So how did you
also,
find out?
the vibe is research. And because I'm in the industry and we do issue out Dubai visas, and I still got a Dubai visa out last week. A couple are on their way to Dubai as we speak. They are Nigerians. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the documentation is like, you understand what I'm saying? So those things are just changed. For the way Dubai issue out their visa is through third party. So if you talk to this third party, they will tell you what the criteria are. They'll tell you the document that you need to be. But remember that a lot of people don't really want to do this hard work and they don't want to ask questions. So they keep doing it the whole way and they keep getting denied. So it's not like we're banned. They just want you to do proper. They want you to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you're coming for what you say you're coming for.
Because we have a lot of Nigerians that usually default.
I think that's all over the world. I think, people go for different reasons. And like I said, if somewhere is accessible and it's affordable, it would generate a lot of tourists. For Dubai in particular, I know that Nigeria have a very high percentage of their tourists that come here.
They're coming, yes.
But we also spend a lot of money there.
Exactly. So why would you
we
ban
shop
us?
a lot. We do all of this a lot. Yeah, but again, beyond making money, a country needs to keep itself safe for its own citizens. Yeah. So beyond making money, and I don't think, like, come on, Remi, Dubai money is long money. What money are you giving? I don't think
Arab money.
Yeah,
Arab
it's
money.
high money. So I
Arab
mean, just to
money.
digress a bit, I know that Dubai oil, the Arab oil on the market is not. You have to pay, like they give you a credit limit. Nigerian oil in the world market is cash down.
It's cash down.
So these are people that can afford to not collect money as they're selling you. Then I think it's not that important to them. You understand what I'm saying? So they prefer to make it a priority to keep the country safe first, and control immigration. That's what it is, because there was a lot of fights going on, cultism and all of that.
Yeah.
So those were issues, but we were never banned.
And to also help with their record keeping. It will win.
Yeah. Okay. So I think now it's time to go into random questions section, where I and my guest would be picking up random questions and be answering them. So Remi, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so do we have here? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So can I change this question?
No. Read the question. Read that question, Remi. Read the question.
So what's your spiciest opinion that most people disagree with?
What's what?
Spiciest, Dami?
Spiciest
Yeah.
opinion that people disagree with.
That most people disagree with.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
No, you go
Yeah. Okay. So I am of the opinion that regardless of the age, disrespect is a no-no.
I think people shouldn't disagree with that.
A lot of people do. And this is because of Nigerian culture. So many times I've been asked, did you grow up in Nigeria? Were you even trained in Nigeria? Did you even school in Nigeria? You don't know that, even because the situation is, even if you have fights with an elderly person, regardless of who is wrong, the younger person has to apologize.
Yeah.
I do not support that opinion.
And we've carried that attitude.
I do
even
not
into our day-to-day living.
I do not support that opinion. And when I say I do not support the opinion, Remi, this is with every soul, every being in my body, every hair that I breathe. Like, it's very important to me.
Yeah.
If my mom offends me, I'm not going to be at peace until we have sat down and not settle it. Like, let her understand the reason why I'm demanding an apology. See this opinion, it looks like a white girl opinion. That's the problem.
It is. Because it's not applicable in Nigeria. Like, wait, let me put it in the Nigeria. Your mama offended you. Your mama apologized to you.
That is the problem. And
bus stop.
So this is the issue.
Anyway.
This is the issue. You can just so it looks.
No, they will apologize to you, but they can apologize to you indirectly. Like, okay, she will you eat? Okay, I made her. They will apologize to you, but if you are waiting for that direct.
Remi, I am not waiting for it. I demand it. I'm not waiting for it. I demand it. And let me tell you, this has actually landed me in trouble a few times. And it has just let me understand that I need to keep some boundaries. So I have friends that are older than me. And at a point in time, you want to act like you are the Lord Jesus Christ because there's few gap in our age here. It's going to be a problem. So I don't have an issue with the basic respect of, you have to call somebody older than you an auntie and an uncle. That's not what I'm talking about. But because I call you an auntie and an uncle, you now see me, like, somebody, mama, you slap my face in the or you hit my head from the back and say, Hey,
That reminds me.
auntie.
That reminds me of my wedding day. There was this particular auntie that I had not seen in like years. Let me say like 15 years. And then all of a sudden, before like 15 years ago, she was like my auntie. But
Yeah.
there's a level to this auntie ship that they used to do, right? So before they were your auntie, now they're like your mommy.
Oh my god. So I wasn't aware that she had upgraded.
So when I saw her the way, I was like, auntie, welcome. She like, Kenny, me, your auntie. I be your mommy. I say auntie, I might be also be aunties. That was how she tried from there. I was like, no, mommy and mama, but it was very hard for me to come to terms that the person I used to do that is
And there's
not my mommy. Like,
there's also some things that elderly people do, like they make like some mean jokes
yeah,
that put you in a very embarrassing situation, and they expect you not to make a big deal out of it because
yeah, yeah.
because they're older than. Do you know, every time when I try to rebel against these things, people say, you're definitely, I don't think you grew up here. Did you school abroad? I'm like, no, I schooled
You
here.
schooled in
I'm very
Nigeria.
cultural. I'm very Nigerian. I promise you. But this particular one, I think people just abuse it a lot. So because you're my auntie and you're my uncle, I've gotten to the point where I am even somebody's mother. Come on. And then you still feel like you slap my head on the street or whatever. Even to young children, I think it's an abuse. If you beat children that cannot understand what you're saying, I think you're abusing that child.
Yeah.
Only children that can understand what you're doing, and even there are other ways, to talk to people and not make them, because this can very much eat into your confidence. And I don't play with my peace of mind you cannot put me down. I don't play with it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's like my own spiciest opinion.
For me,
yours?
my own spicy of it sound a bit funny, but I think when I was single, I was working in a law firm, and then this man reached out to me one day. I was like, because I was single for a very long time. I was very
Okay, so let us talk about that today.
a lot of people felt it was because of my attitude or something, but I was just cool. So the man was trying to pair me up with one or two lawyers.
Okay.
And so he was like, okay, Remi, so what's your dream man? And like, okay, for me, I don't want a man that drinks. I don't want a man that smokes. And I don't want a man that sleeps around with women.
Are you looking for
And they were
Jesus?
Everybody in the office was like, seriously, Remi, get ready because you'll be single for a very long time. But I intentionally said that, intentionally just to take away
the attention from you.
Just to take away the attention from me. But deep down,
That's
think
what you really want.
that was actually my own idea, and it worked for me. I don't know if it will work for any other person.
Let me tell you, there is nothing that is impossible.
Exactly.
And I think there are men like that.
Yeah.
But is beyond the superficial. Like, I don't even think like this is the biggest honors
It's
of
not
marriage.
that was what I said. That was
Because you can be married to somebody. You can be married to somebody that doesn't drink, that doesn't smoke, that doesn't sleep around.
But
I actually know someone like that, but he's not kind. Do you get what I'm saying? There's always a vice.
Yeah.
And it necessarily doesn't have to be one of the popular ones that people talk about, right? And I don't even know why not sleeping around is an option.
Thank you.
Don't marry now. Because marriage in itself, the concept of marriage is, being committed to other and not, it's not, it's
so
monogamous.
Let's pick the second question, right?
I think that's my question, though.
Okay.
Let's- Okay. This is, what is the most interesting place you've ever been to? You go first.
Okay, for me, I think the most interesting place I've been to is, I think, Istanbul Airport. So it's interesting because
It's very big, yeah?
was
Is it the
big.
new airport?
The new airport? Yes, it was.
They
was
have
vast.
sleeping pods,
It's
yeah?
not big. That means it's vast. There's no end.
Yeah.
I was just going.
And you know,
Before I got to my gate, it took me like 2 hours. I was like,
yeah.
kilo day.
And you know
So
that
yeah,
airport, yeah. Another time at Istanbul airport, I missed my flight.
you will definitely
And
survive.
then yes, if you don't have 3 hours, you're gonna miss your flight because it's that big.
It's that big.
It's the
Yes, it's very
it's the
vast.
biggest one after the Singapore airport. The biggest airport in the whole world is the next one. So it's very big. In fact, in that airport, on the way, instead of having seats, they have sleeping pods. Like you have walked,
so
your leg is paining, you
rest.
sleep. Sleep. There's sleeping pods. And you know, they have a very nice hotel at the airport, which is like a space hotel. I can't remember the name right now, but it's built like spaceship. So the bathroom is like space, like it's
Yes,
round,
I think I've
and the
seen
windows
it.
are like you're looking at
Yeah,
out of
I think I've
space.
seen it. I saw it.
It's so amazing. It has a very
yeah.
nice feel.
Yeah.
So if I tell you the most
So
interesting
what's
place
most
I've
interesting?
been,
No, you travel a lot
it's
now.
gonna
So
shock.
no, I'm not sure it to shock me because actually I'm expecting something beyond the extraordinary.
Okay,
Dami,
the
of
most
course.
interesting place I've ever been to
Yeah.
in my life is Idori
Which Idori?
in Nigeria.
The
Nigeria.
Idori Hills.
Yes.
Wow.
You know why? Okay, so other places I've been to are kind of fancy.
Okay.
With Idori Hills, in fact, right now I'm feeling a sense of nostalgia because I'd gone for my friend's mom's memorial burial something, yeah. And they're like, okay, so because we're in Idori, we should go to the Idori Hills. And do you know that place is so quiet and it is beautiful if you climb the mountain because you can see the landscape from the hill. It's very hilly. The houses are like on hills, and you can see the. And I had gone on this hill. This like maybe 10 years ago, and I don't want to pick an international place because some places are familiar. They look similar. Yeah, this place is very particular because I got to a place. There was a story about the hill, like when the warriors are fighting and whatever.
And they always have someone to
and
give
I
you
begin
that.
to picture myself in another lifetime, like like with the warrior with the spear and stuff. God. But the most interesting thing is that, do you know that there is a place on the hills that you get to, and there is a footprint of the leg.
Of those warriors?
No, just
Okay.
two footprints
Okay.
of leg on the rocks.
Yeah.
But whosoever puts their legs in there,
It fits.
yeah,
Like no matter the size,
Yeah.
the shape.
yeah.
Wow.
So if you put a baby's leg, it's gonna fit. And if you put an adult leg, it's gonna fit.
Wow.
Now,
Okay, so now I think I'm
now
going to visit Indore
I was with somebody else, and that actually sent chills down my
next.
spine. You understand what I'm saying? And I've
The
not been able to encounter that
experience.
anywhere outside of
Nigeria.
Nigeria. And I don't know how it happened, but I did put my feet in it, and it was my size. And the person that came with hers, but you can't see it shrinking unless maybe it is specifically very, very small, maybe a baby's leg.
Yeah.
I think you'll be able to contrast it better then. But the person with me was a bigger guy, and his leg fits as well. But we did see it expand or
Or
shrink.
shrink. Okay, I think I'm going to be visiting Indore Hills because
Yeah, and there are other
I was
places
actually
like that in
planning on
Nigeria
going
too.
to Akure
Yeah.
ending of this year for a family visit because, well, my husband is from Indore,
Yeah.
so it's
Oh,
another
really?
advantage. Yeah,
You
he's
should
from
ask him
Indore.
about the hill.
I will, but he's also not a frequent traveler to that part of
the
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah, so
I
he's from
cannot
Midori.
forget about the hill. And
Yeah.
sitting on it was like a chilly time around December. That experience, sitting on a rock in a chilly weather, is the best feeling, most interesting place. Is the
Why is the
most interesting place.
security like there?
If we're talking
Felt-
like no, there was nothing. The whole town was very quiet. There wasn't even a lot of people. But apart from that, if it's not Nigeria, if it's going to be like outside the country, That would be Russia. That would be St. Petersburg.
Why?
Because of the
Russia.
white nights that I experienced.
Okay.
Like for 7 nights, the sun was not setting. It was just, there was sun in midnight. There's sun. It's not as bright as the daytime, but you can
But you
see
can
the whole,
see.
yeah, it's not dark.
Wow.
And it's beautiful. They have like a lot of ancient buildings and big,
Yeah.
big churches.
Historical.
Yeah, and palaces. It's very nice. And again, the culture shock. Before I went to Russia, everybody told me they're racist and all of that and everything.
Yeah.
They are the nicest
That's
set
why I
of
was
people I've
surprised.
ever met in my life.
No, I think
One
that
time,
racism.
I was going out and I slipped on melted ice, melted snow on the
On the
on the
floor.
walkway. And before I fell, I did not see anybody. Everybody was maybe in the building or wherever.
Okay.
I slipped, and out of nowhere, 6 people, women and men, came out.
They were willing to pull you up.
Somebody actually pulled me up before my bomb landed on the snow. Somebody actually pulled me up. A lot of people also came out. So people were just like watching me because maybe I didn't understand how to walk on those terrains. And then when I was going to the airport also, a lot of people were making nice comments like, oh, you must be
Yeah, I
new.
think
You don't have like good jacket. Do you want better jacket? Someone offered me a jacket. Is the nicest people I've ever. I can't remember. I can't even. And it's
Germany,
so beautiful.
I think I've heard that. I've heard a couple of people saying Germans are racist and all. But when I went there, honestly, they were nice to me. They were kind. And then when you meet fellow Nigerians in Germany, you know
And
that
maybe because you're
rapport
not
and all
living
that
there, so your experience is
was
different from those
maybe
living there.
because
Yeah,
I didn't
but
experience
but
anything
that's
of
that's the
that.
difference between stereotypes and actually experiencing travel. So your next question,
Okay.
please.
I love this particular question
Nice.
because
Nice.
Okay, so if you could choose one place to live anywhere in the world, where would you like to live? Singapore, of course. What about you? Singapore, please. I love that country.
So I've never been to Singapore,
Um,
but here is mad expensive. So if I'm choosing a place to live in the world, are
want
they
to
gonna give me
consider-
money?
yeah, I'll make money now to live in money. I have to make the money.
I hear that Singapore is mad expensive, but it's very beautiful.
It's a very
But
beautiful country.
Based on countries that I've been, where I would prefer to live
Nigeria.
in
I
the
won't be
world.
surprised if you say Nigeria.
Remi, why not? It's not
I won't be
Nigeria.
surprised if you say you remain in Nigeria.
It's gonna be Germany, but not Frankfurt.
Where?
Munich.
Why?
It's so beautiful, and
It's
it's
very
like
quiet.
yeah, it is, but it's so
Very quiet
beautiful,
region.
and the farm experience is very, very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like if you have like the people living in Munich are like old money.
Old money, yeah.
You can kind of feel like
They have like
they have
ranches,
everything. Yes,
They have stable.
you get it. Like I'll have like nice selection of neighbors. Yes, like you have stables, you have horses.
So you have your own land to yourself, and you can see everywhere.
The
Yeah,
spaces
no, I
are nice. I'm not really like an how person, so I don't fancy all this party or mega
All
city
those
or
mega
wherever. Yeah,
cities.
so if I would pick a place, it would be
It
Germany.
would be
This is the last question, and okay. So what's that one dish that most travelers talk about, but you think is trash?
There's something.
I know. I know it's and it's expensive too.
Sushi.
Ah, I hate sushi.
Why you eating sushi in Nigeria? Why in Nigeria eating sushi?
No, but even it's travelers, yeah. But I hate sushi.
The
Like,
first
I feel
time
like
I
it's
tasted
raw.
that,
Like it's just raw food.
honestly,
I don't like seafood
I
anyway.
just feel it's overrated anyway.
Okay,
Honestly, it doesn't deserve all the own hypes and all that.
yeah, I don't think so. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
But the one that I think most traveler talks about that. I think it's trash. Oysters.
Yeah.
Yuck.
I get.
Like,
I get.
and it's expensive.
Of course, it's
Why are we drinking slime?
fine. And
Why are we
I don't
swallowing?
want to imagine.
And then they're not gonna say, when you finish it, you put like,
Like God.
dude,
Like
don't worry.
God.
Not-
And you get it in all those 5-star hotels.
Yeah,
And you pay heavily for that experience.
and it's not cooked or anything, and you
Not.
just and it's slimy, and you just have to
You just break out.
and drink it, and then no, that's what it is. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you stayed with us for this long, and now we're bringing this to the end again. Please like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. See you on the next episode. My name
Alright.
is, oh my God, it's Dami.
All right, my name remains Remi.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.